Here we go. And you're like, I just got friended on Facebook by Charles Young. And I'm like, who the fuck is Charles Young? And then you say, my dad.
My father was an alcoholic at the base, ground zero of the pager and cell phone boom in the late 70s, early 80s. And had legal issues, by the way. Outstanding warrants for drinking and driving and back child support pay. And then at a certain point, he just drops off the face of the planet. He was very sick. We assume he's dead. So I'm like, this is really weird. Imagine my surprise when Charles Young friends me on Facebook.
I understand I have daddy issues. Like, I get it.
His birth date's correct.
I mean, like, I would say, you know, it was definitely, like, I didn't even first think that I remembered his birthday. Like, I was like, I didn't even think, I thought it was in the fall, to be real with you, but, like, it was actually February 24th, which turns out it was his real birthday.
And the city that it says he is in was the last one that we knew he was alive in. Because that's it. That's all there is that's correct.
Could it be that all of this is for someone who doesn't necessarily know the story of the person whose identity he's taking on, but somebody who is an ID thief who is just stealing a dead person's identity?
What if it's somebody who just wants to take out revenge on everybody associated with?
I mean, my father was certainly not short of enemies. However, it would be very odd timing that somebody waited almost a decade and a half to wreak any kind of havoc. He messages me.
Really?
I have a plan to deal with this. In the meantime, he friends my brother and my mother. He messages my brother and says, how's married life?
Oh, shit, son.
None of this is remarkable until I get the email. And he writes in very broken English. Let me let you guys know he was precise about things, okay? Oh, he's living in another country. That's not him. Yes, he's living in another country. He is not a broken English person. However,
I mean, like, I just want to read the email. Like, I'm just trying to say, like, I don't even know what the email is, really. Like, I don't know what to make of it, is all I'm saying.
just to let you know, it took 15 years to get over your mother and my alcoholism.
Oh!
Followed you and Eric on social pages you use. Pretty funny stuff at times. To deal with Russell, his brother, who committed suicide. As that was going on, you were out of any interference to reach you again. I believe the time is come. I'll post pics on your FB. In the meantime, take care of yourself. Always remember that persistence is the key. Love, Charles Young. Including the most damning. My brother's name is spelled E-R-I-K. Like it's misspelled. Which is odd, because he fucking named him! Well, there is a fairly high likelihood at this point that it is at the very least somebody who knew him and his story. Here's the other thing.
I mean, effectively, right? Like you would think there's so much that just screams bullshit on this.
Does he just start using Facebook by himself? Alone? After a stroke? There's nobody else? It's like, hey, your father had a stroke, but he'd like to reconnect with you. Like, it just seems so fucking weird. That's the fucked up thing. I was talking to my cousin, and he's like, well, you know, why don't you lead them along and see if they ask for money? And I'm like, and that would point us in which direction? Know this, Charles Young, if you are indeed alive, there is not a fucking cent that will ever end up in his hands. Your hands. Dead person's hands. I'm not gonna get ghost dad and put a fucking hot penny in that motherfucker's palm. That's a fact. I highly doubt that it's him. I'm like, I thought dad was I thought you said that dad was dead. And he replies, turns out he's actually dying.
And now, the exciting conclusion to Night Attack. Oh! Hells yeah! You know that it's gotta be part 2 of a 2-part cliffhanger series of Night Attack. The show that brings you the best and the worst of the internet ever since the internet was born in 1666, along with Satan. Satan and the internet, born the same day. Who would have guessed? Also born that day was one Justin Robert Young. What's going on, JRY?
Oh, Brian. I don't think we have ever gotten a reaction to an episode of Night Attack like we did last week's, right?
Dude, well, first of all, last week was a weird-ass episode. If you missed it last week, you heard the highlights. We had a dramatic situation that so totally superseded all of the planning. We had the most rigidly planned episode we were ever going to have of our show. Turns out we threw all that out in the window, and we got real with y'all. We turned the chair around backwards. We leaned over. We took off our lab coat. We said,
Put
hey,
on
man.
the backwards hat.
Yeah.
Hey, let me be straight with you guys.
Yeah.
I've done a lot in my life. Look at these tattoos.
I've had an alcoholic dad. He may have died off in the distance when nobody knew and then maybe resurfaced 10, 15 years later as a broken English-speaking motherfucker on a Facebook. I've been there. Let me quote some V's at you.
All right. Well, let me just set this up. We have Sarah Lane coming on in the second act. We have we are continuing the journey. The journey toward the journey will continue in the third act. And I mentioned both of those because this wraps up right now. We ain't gonna Sarah Koenig you. We're not gonna, well, you know, maybe he's alive, maybe he's not. We'll never know. Anyway, peace out.
We're gonna give you direct answers real quick for those of you guys playing along in the chat realm. Of course, we appreciate all of you guys showing up live at at diamondclub.tv. Do us a favor. There are two things that we want to have happen by the end of the episode. First of all, you should be populating the Problem Solverz doc so that we can solve your problems. It's the world's only call-out advice program. Second of all, as we get to the finale of the journey, we're about to lock the doc, which means we're not taking new submissions. We need to figure out a filtering mechanisms, which over the next week, we want to know which of these chapters should be in, which should be out, and most importantly, which should we read live on the air in the third act of this here program. But for now, let's jump right in, Justin Robert Young. Why don't you talk to me? I feel like you dropped off the face of the earth a little bit. I knew you had some stuff you were dealing with, but when I spoke to you earlier, oh, it's the music. Take it away.
So when we last left, this was all happening in real time. I had gotten an email from Charles Young, a man purporting himself to be my father. I responded to him by saying, listen, Dick, you refuse to give pics, so I'm going to assume you're a fraud. Thanks for playing. Deuces.
Did you say this is what you said?
I can read you the exact email.
Please do. You don't get us this far and just sort of, no summaries at this point. There was no summaries last episode.
Here we go. I wrote, I asked you for a picture and you have refused. You have not produced any concrete evidence that you are Charles Young, and therefore I do not believe this is Charles Young. I believe you are an imposter targeting myself and my family. It is my understanding Charles is and has been dead for many years. Do not contact me or my family ever again. If you ignore this and continue to interact with my family, I will turn over everything I've gathered about you and this scheme to the authorities.
Wow. Real quick, side jag, pause. Just let's take out of it. Let's remind not everyone follows us on Twitter, although they should, at Schwood, at Justin R. Young. Just want to point out that there's a screen cap from an actual odds maker in Vegas offering actual odds on Jury's Ghost Dad, whether it's actual dad, 8-1 odds, con that's caught, 3-2 odds, con that's uncaught, 3-1 odds, or Pol Pot, 50-1. Must be resolved by February 10th or bets will be refunded. All right, Justin. So you sent that message.
Yeah.
And then what happened?
I get an email back the next day.
The next day?
The next day.
Okay. All right. Okay. What do you expect to have happen when you write this email?
I'm just to be honest, I was just like, I didn't even know like where I was gonna go with it. To be real with you, like I don't even remember what I was thinking. Well, I mean, so I was leaving on a business trip. I was going, oddly enough, to Florida, to both Orlando and South Florida, two key elements of where I've lived my life with my father. So I flew to Florida. I just had a lot of stuff that was stacking up on top of each other business-wise, and I just needed to go. Like, I just needed to do stuff.
Sure.
He writes back, I ain't dead. And my secret word we agreed on years ago is Hannibal, who was killed in a car in Fort Worth, Texas, when your mother got pregnant with you. The name Cannibal comes from the African warrior, not the movie character. We also had a cat named Cuchito, who died in Orlando, where your brother was born. Finally, the name I called you when you were in belly was the Pip. You'll have to verify that with Gloria. Good, safe move, Justin. As always, you're just in time. P.S. My friend Holmes from St. Thomas called you guys Charlie's litter and then gave me another email to his friend from St. Thomas who we called Holmes.
Okay.
Right?
This was not how I thought things were going to go.
Neither.
This is okay, I can't even be funny right now because that sounds to me that sounds like the confident swagger of somebody who actually knows some shit.
But that's not the weirdest part about the email, Brian.
What's the weirdest part?
The pictures.
Oh.
Wait,
They included.
then there's the pictures.
2 pictures. Both of them look like an old, beat up, fucking weathered version of my father.
Oh shit!
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Checking the board right now. Actual
my
dad
God.
paid out 8-1.
Hold on. Wait a minute.
All right. Hold your bets. Hold your bets.
Hold your bets.
My
One of the
goodness.
pictures has a stamped on date of February 14th, 2014.
So last year for sure.
Yeah. He then writes back almost minutes later. Here's a pic taken a few minutes ago by one of my employees. The email is in the background. I've been uploading work since 6 a.m. so I don't look like my handsome usual self. Please advise me if I have any hoops left to jump. Here's one for you. Why is Eric's middle name Taylor and not one of your grandfathers? Which is odd that he would ask that because my brother's middle name is Taylor because him and my mom like the name. So I found that as like very fishy that like you're fishing stuff for me.
Okay. So real quick, I mean, I just got to get crack in the psyche here. This happens sometime midway through the week. You get this, and
I get this in Orlando.
so you have a conference.
I am literally minutes away from going on stage to talk to 300 people.
Jeez. Okay. All right. So you get this,
the
and
picture that he attaches to the second email features a man that I didn't believe looked like him, and I didn't believe looked like the first 2 people, but it is an old dude with a birthmark that my father had on his forehead with the email in the background on a Yahoo screen, which matches his email.
Wow. I mean, is that definitive proof? I mean, you said you weren't going to Sarah Koenig us.
I did not find it to be definitive proof. I thought that the first 2 pictures looked like him, but I haven't talked to him since I was 13.
Sure.
No idea what he looks like.
Yeah.
I have no idea whether or not those are pictures taken prior. And if they were somebody trying to scam us, you have 2 pictures, and then you have somebody that looks reasonably like him that take at an odd angle.
Yeah.
This is also an odd angle because he's not looking directly in the camera. He's looking off to the side.
But
I found
is he like showing off his birthmark that you know? By the way, in my mind, it's Mikhail Gorbachev, and he has exactly Mikhail Gorbachev's.
It's darker, but it is similar to Mikhail Gorbachev's.
Okay, great. So this they get someone who looks kind of like they get a Gorbachev impersonator to impersonate your dad, right?
Yeah. This lights off a flurry of emails between my brother, my cousin, and my cousin who had been in contact with him later than I had, and had seen pictures of him later than I had, was very convinced that this was the real person. I was not. I thought, in fact, since he mentioned this other dude in St. Thomas, I thought that if anyone would know all this stuff, it would be this other dude who he was very good friends with in St. Thomas.
Now, first of all, did you guys have a code word? Was that out of nowhere, or?
No, that was true. When I was a kid,
Oh my
it was the code
gosh.
word. Like, so it was one of those, like, you know, you don't get picked up by some strange molester or something. Like, someone in a van shows up, the code word's Hannibal.
Oh my God!
Wow.
I don't believe it's him at this point.
Okay.
I still believe everything is way too convenient.
Everybody else is believing it, though, right?
My brother doesn't. My brother thinks that the third photo is laughably unlike him, that it looks like some old Indian dude.
Right.
I did not say that all those emails continue to have random misspellings and random, like, just grammatical errors.
So it is still as weirdly written as the emails that we discussed before.
Yeah.
All right.
See, I've got a theory.
What's your theory?
My theory is that the misspellings are a code you got to decipher.
That's some next level shit. It says I am a fraud in code to give you a sporting chance.
Right.
So, as anyone does when faced with a gigantic issue, I went to a professional wrestling show in Cocoa Beach, Florida, to give myself some space.
Sure.
It is in a theater of suspension of disbelief that I come to this conclusion. I don't give a shit if this is a fraud or my father. Because if it's my father and he has chosen to reintroduce himself into my life after nearly 2 decades of complete silence, and he's doing it with a, "Sup, bro? Anyway, remember all that shit that happened before?" Well, I don't, because I'm not going to mention it. Also, what's up? Like, how you doing? I'm on Facebook now. Bet you didn't know. And, like, didn't talk to his sister, who's as thought her brother was dead for over a decade and change. Like, then he has learned nothing as a human being. And if he's a scammer, like, you know, then I don't want to talk to him. So I resolved to this when I get back from the pro wrestling show. Also, my cousin has called the number and talked to him.
Give me. Now we get to the call. This should be the definitive proof we've all been looking for. And yet...
He says he's 70% sure that it's him.
70% sure? How do you talk to someone on the goddamn phone and end up 70% sure it's your dad?
He said it was certainly an American accented person. It wasn't somebody who was a native Puerto Rican speaker. And when he said it was Thomas who was calling, he was like, "My sister's son?" And then asked very general questions about the family.
So he pumped to get the right place.
Yeah. And Max Trobot's saying Puerto Rico is a language. It's not, but there's a dialect. There's a Puerto Ricans sound different than Cubans. Cubans sound different than Venezuelans, right?
Sure. God damn. Okay, because this is the thing, right? In this day and age, you can find out enough to where it's like you could be briefed on someone, be thrown on the phone, and if you know anything, especially Justin Robert Young, editor-in-chief of iTricks, who knows a thing or two about the art of cold reading and mentalism and the ability to fish out what people know and what is and isn't an important avenue of pursuit. A lot of people could do that, right?
It's like, I'm sorry. I don't look my usual self because I had to stay up all night faking a birthmark. You know?
I'm very tired after all that.
I ran out of magic marker, so I had to go back and get more.
Okay, so she and this is which relative speaks to him on the phone?
My cousin.
Okay, your cousin speaks to him on the phone, and he has... Now, here's the tricky part, is I got members of my family that I'm going to be that way. I'm going to be all like, Judy, you're... Whose daughter again? Oh, yeah, of course, Larry. Oh, now, Larry, he's son of Tom? Tom. Tom's Larry's Judy.
Brian.
That family, not big. Like, of the people that talk to each other, there's not a lot of them. It was only 3 kids. Russell, who's dead, never had kids. Charles, who had me and my brother, and his sister, Beverly, who had 3 kids, one of which is Thomas.
Okay, so
I wrote him an email back.
What is your brother's stepdaughter's name?
My brother's stepdaughter is Ava.
You see, that came quickly.
Yeah,
right.
Quickly
Same
enough.
scenario.
Only because I remember him shooting her during laser tag while he consoled her for her broken nose.
She did not break her nose.
Whatever. She busted her nose and was crying, and Jay's consoling her and gathering points because she's on the other team at the same time. Sorry, so you write him, and what do you say?
Let me make this plain. You're a fraud. This wouldn't matter if you're a scam artist, which you are, or if you're actually my father, as the line between the two is very often soft. I don't care how much Charlie trivia you have. I don't care how many people you pose with a birthmark. I don't care if you knew Charles. I don't care if you know Charles. I don't care if you are Charles. There is no element of my life that is made better by having a lying, scheming stranger drain me of my money and clarity. And the same goes for if you were a scam artist.
Dropped the mic. Holy crap. That is some, I'd say you spoke truth to power, but it doesn't sound like there was a lot of power you were speaking to. Sounded like you yelled at a homeless person who may or may not have been your dad.
Well, I mean, to be honest with you, you know, it was just something where I didn't, like I had, well, here, you want to know what? I'll get to it in a second.
Okay,
because
all right. No. But I mean, clearly at this point, you're coming from a place of resolve. You have come to a decision. You are saying what you're saying, and you are closing a door. You have resolution.
And for the record, I did ask like 3 people whether or not that last like clever rejoinder was too much, because and then I resolved. I'm like, well, I mean, I'm probably gonna have to read this. I'm definitely gonna be reading this on the fucking podcast. It better be well written.
It was very clever, very clever.
He writes back the next morning. Whether you want to accept it or not, you know I am Charles Oscar Young. For your personal edification, know that it was never my intention to hurt you or destroy the myth of my death, but it was my intention to let my sons know that in spite of it all, I survived, that in spite of all adversities, I never gave up. Notwithstanding my personal reasons to try and rejoin you, it was and is my intention to protect you from harm or anything that would impede your progress. You want me dead? I'll be dead. But in your heart, you know it's me. Nobody knows more about you than me, because I was there at your conception in Waco, Texas, and your birth. Other than the doctor who delivered you, I was the first to hold you in my arms with the umbilical cord still attached to your mother's placenta. Have a long and successful life, Justin Robert Young. Never, never, never give up. It is at this point that I know. Oh, also, he attaches a picture of himself at the beach.
Okay.
It is at this point that I begin to know for an absolute fact, this is indeed Charles Oscar Young.
Now, what was the final clue that that brought this in?
You ever seen Half Baked? The movie Half Baked?
I saw half of Half Baked. So
the first half of Half Baked, there's this scene where he's talking about getting pot in New York City.
Yeah.
You can get pot at a few different places. One of them are shady-ass bodegas where you got to act a little weird to let the people who are selling pot illegally know that you're cool. And so Dave Chappelle is like trying to be like, hey, I'm here to pick up the stuff. And they're like,
yeah, whatever, narc.
And then he goes, oh, huh? And he like pulls down his pants and moons them. And they go, oh, black ass, why you no moon us earlier, man? And that's how I felt.
Like,
why didn't you just act like a sanctimonious, playing the victim jerk off the whole fucking time? This would have been so much faster, Father. Like, if you just would have acted like you have always acted, that you are constantly the victim. The world is persecuting Charles Oscar Young. It is not any of his actions for which bring these consequences. No, it is the unfair universe that has its thumb under the on the back of our poor hero. So allow me. Oh yeah. By the way, Thomas then goes on the phone with him for an hour and a half, asks him 10 or 12 questions that only he could know. He answers every single one of them. This is without a doubt. Collect your bets, 8-1.
Holy shit. Vegas action, the long shot. It was no Pol Pot 50-1, but 8-1. Actual Vegas odds for actual Justin Robert Young's dad. What?
Whoa.
So by the way,
a shocking
email,
twist.
because I will not respond to this email.
Oh,
a podcast.
So he sends you this email, and you will
So he sends me this email.
Yeah.
And allow me to retort. First, he says, it's always been my intention to protect you from harm or anything that would impede your progress. Well, you've certainly not done anything to impede my progress when you completely abandoned me and my brother for 2 decades. Again, I talked to him when I was 13. I am 31 now. I don't know if you're into numerology, dog, but that's a flipperooski where I have been completely out of your life for a very long time. Which brings me to point 2.
Problem solved.
No one knows more about you than me because I jizzed in your mom and I pulled you out of the womb. Okay?
Right?
This one, literally, I'm naming Chebby, Drenched Wife, Mr. Green, Brocodile, Beef, Bob McBob, Brian Brushwood, Bonnie Brushwood, Callie Brushwood, Josie Brushwood, Eddie Brushwood. Every motherfucker that I just named knows me far fucking better than you do. The dude who checked me into the hotel where I was in Orlando knows me better than you. Like, you are literally a 63-year-old stranger who is making absurd demands of my time and attention.
Well, and so, by the way, when he says his absurd demands, like, what was it that he wants? Was he? I mean, I assume phase 1 is to reconcile. I'm back to be in your lives again.
Sure, except for the fact that, and also he tells my brother or tells my cousin that he's been clean for 5 years, right? And if he's clean for 5 years and you've gone through the Alcoholics Anonymous program, I know enough about recovery that one of the things you need to do is make amends for everybody in your life that you have hurt by way of your addiction. If you start your new relationship with your sons with a sup bro on Facebook, something fucking 1 degree more formal than a fucking sunglasses emoji, like, and you make no reference to anything that's gone on in the past, let alone any kind of new foundation that you would like to build a new relationship on top of, I'm sorry. I have a hard time believing that this is something that you take seriously. And I have everybody that I named before, Brian, Ashley, my life, my job, my work, like, I have so much good going for me.
You're damn straight,
I have
dude.
an amazing amount of stuff that works well for me, that understands a fundamental logic of love and respect, that you get love and respect when you give love and respect, and that there is a way that you can bankrupt that. There is a way that you can completely destroy a relationship by way of negligence. So why on fucking earth would I want to introduce easily, by far, the most destabilizing element of my entire life now? Why would I do that? There is no, absolutely zero fucking reason why I would do that. Which brings me to my final point. His sign-off. Never, never, never give up. All right. Understood. However, as you go on in life, and I do, if Charles Young ever watches this, I do hope that you treat the people in your life that you have relationships with past this in a different manner than you've treated the people in the past. Because I hope that they will have the decency to react to you appropriately. However, should you consider to still use this greeting, allow me to submit a little bit of editing. I don't know if you knew this. I majored in newspaper editing in college. One of those hilarious things you missed in the 2 decades you weren't in my life. So let me just redline this shit a little bit. Never, never, never give up. Asterisk, unless it's on the country because you have to flee because you have warrants. Never, never, never give up. Unless it's on your marriage when you ruined it by way of abuse, physical, and through alcohol. Never, never, never give up. Unless it's on your family. You know, maybe those edits would bring a little bit of a clearer sense to anybody else that you email. And ladies and gentlemen, fuck Sarah Koenig. That's how you end a mystery.
We hope you enjoyed this presentation of Justin's Real Ass Life. Playing the part of Justin Robert Young was Justin Robert Young. Playing the part of the scam artist And also the part of his father was his father. In the studio was Bonnie Brushwood. Sarah Koenig was played by Brian Brushwood. This product is available on audiobook wherever fine resellers are sold. Some resellers are sold. You said, I'd like to buy a reseller of your product and or service. Holy shit. OP delivered. OP,
Wow.
both OP delivered. Both you and your dad.
This is such a more satisfying ending.
You're goddamn right, man. That's great.
You have no idea how much clarity this brought me, by the way. This,
I bet.
I have never felt more clear on this issue than I do right now. And I have the longer that we've gone on with this, because it was an unresolved thing I've had since I was 13, you know, and now it's resolved. Like I had a petty argument with my dad at 13 and he never talked to us again, you know, like.
Wait, so you remember the last argument that you had with your dad?
Oh yeah, dude.
Geez.
Come on, dude. That's like daddy issues 101.
Yeah, come on, man. What are you going to be lost in the past? Well, it sounds to me like you got problems to solve, much like the fine denizens of Chat Realm. Do you want to just jump right into Problem Solvers, and then we'll thank the folks who make our show possible?
Well, let's just do it real quick. Patreon.com/Night Attack is where you go. We won't go into the numbers. Just know that we love you guys, and if you enjoy this level of discourse, enjoy us bearing our soul, then feel free to chip us a couple bucks.
Yeah, man. Look, we try to keep it real for you. We open up our hearts and souls to you, and you guys pay back dividends and making us feel like we're part of something bigger and better than ourselves. You make us feel like we're family, and we love each and every one of you guys. On the other hand, some of you guys have some extra spare change laying around, and we sure do appreciate it when you throw it in our faces. Justin, we have live on the line the mistress of ceremonies of none other than our most fabulous segment, Problem Solverz!
Sarah Lane!
How you doing, Sarah Lane?
Oh, Brian Brushwood, I'm doing really well. I feel like it's been eons since I was last on the show. It actually hasn't really been that long.
It's been geological eras. Some igneous rock may have turned metamorphic since then, but we're going to make all that right now. We're going to fix a lot of problems. We put up the doc, as you guys know, this is our world's only call-out radio help program. We got a bunch of options here. Justin, I'm going to let you play Pixies on this and tell me which of these we should do.
And set up stuff as I pull up everything.
Okay, all right. You should, and by the way, the doc is spelled Solvers, Solvers, not with the Z. I was searching with the Z, and it caused a bit of confusion. So I turned the mic over to you, and we're totally good. All right, so there are three phases. We have to come up with a restatement of the problem. We have to give some advice, and we have to have a witty rejoinder because we're just that professional. What do you want to do on this? I guess we should listen to the first one before we decide who does what.
Sure.
All right. Wait, real quick. Breaking news. Sarah, talk to us about your new job, your new shindig.
Oh yeah, that's right. I have a new job. It's very exciting. In December, I accepted a job at TechCrunch. I'm running their video team, which already existed, but we're kind of building out a studio, and we're hiring people, and we're gonna do a bunch of crazy new stuff, and I'm really, really excited about it. It's a big change. It's a lot more kind of behind the scenes stuff than what I was doing at Twit, but I still am doing iPad Today at Twit. So in a way, until I keel over, it's the best of both worlds for everybody.
And what changes when you keel over? Does it become the best of all worlds for everyone?
It just means, they got to bury me and find somebody else to do it all.
Well, here's what actually is going to be hilariously inactive is your car that doesn't have to travel back and forth to Petaluma every single day, right?
Yeah, it's weird. It's like my car just sits in my garage now, not being used. I've really broken up with it because I'm walking to work actually these days.
Is there a particular video that you've produced so far that you're particularly proud of? Because anytime you have something that you're super pumped about, you just tap that little hashtag chat realm and we'll make sure to spread the word on it for you.
Oh, that's good. That's a great idea. I will remember that for El Futuro.
Who's he?
So are you already? You guys are in the build up phase with TechCrunch. You guys are building stuff out and hiring people, getting ready.
Yeah, TechCrunch is interesting because it is obviously a tech blog. TechCrunch.com is how most people interact with TechCrunch. But TechCrunch puts on a lot of events every year. Next week is the Crunchies, which is sort of the Oscars of the web. All of the best and brightest in tech Hollywood will be there. It's actually a really fun show. But the video team, that's where we work really hard, sort of gearing up for all of that. And there are several TechCrunch Disrupt conferences that happen each year. So it's like it's a lot of figuring out how to do all that stuff better, and then also just having more programming. And I will appear eventually. I'm trying to, get my feet wet first before I make myself the star of TechCrunch, but it'll happen.
I would imagine that especially for a live event, there's a tremendous amount of pressure to get everything right, because obviously, whatever happens is like, that's it, and it's happening live.
Yeah, well, I'm pretty used to that, thankfully. But yeah, no, event stuff it's a whole different beast, and everybody's just on the edge, and people yell, and it's a whole new world out there in corporate America.
Well, and also, I mean, there's a lot of other tech blogs that have really taken, the video stuff to a whole nother level. I think it's at a perfect space for somebody of your caliber to jump in for a site like TechCrunch and really put a whole new spin and polish on it. I'm so excited to see what you get done there.
Well, thanks, guys. I appreciate the support. You've always been very nice to me, so thanks for being you.
Heck yes! Now let's be really mean to everybody in the chat realm.
There we go. And we'll start off by talking about old people fucking.
What?
My boss is 82, virile and handsome. My grandma is 84, alcoholic, repulsive, and single. My boss getting laid would mean a raise and a morale boost for everyone. Set them up and weather any unforeseen circumstances, ? Or risk potential job loss and financial ruin for the sake of my grandmother's virtue.
Okay, so run those options by me again. Let me.
What I think they are trying to say is that they are curious on whether or not they should try to set up their 82-year-old handsome boss with their miserable yet horny 84-year-old grandma.
Okay, so let me get this straight. He gets happy because he gets a raise most likely and gets better morale at the office.
Yeah.
She gets happy because she gets a wrinkled ass sausage up her poos. And he gets happy because he's 82 and has a horny ass chick who wants it.
They say STDs are on the rise in the nursing homes.
Well, all right. Let's not cast any aspersions.
Does he work in a nursing home? Because then that's just getting weird.
That's our science correspondent, Bonnie Brushwood, live on the scene with the breaking news. I mean, this looks like a win-win-win to me. I don't see anything wrong with this.
Like you got the solution, bro.
Okay, all right. You know what? I actually have a rejoinder as well.
Where do you want to go?
I do as well.
Okay, all right. Then I'm gonna say, all right, I got it. All right, we're gonna call this person on Skype.
All restated, it's 4 in the doc.
Yes, correct. And I'm glad I saw it because this person wanted to be contacted over Skype. So I'm gonna see if I can, if I can call this person. Here we go. We're gonna call them right now. Here we go. There's no ringing, unfortunately. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Still waiting for this person to answer. Come on, fucker! You're the one who asked us to call you.
Why can't I hear the ringing?
No, because it's Skype and Skype.
There's our ringing.
Really?
Gal is like a racehorse. I play her to
Just imagine those two 80-year-olds fucking to this.
Oh my God!
and oh, love can be like heaven.
Nice, Justin.
They're not even answering. Son of a bitch. Oh wait. Oh yeah. There's yeah. No, I'm looking at it. It says I'm calling them. I'll try this variation on their name, I guess. Unless there's.
They said don't forget the underscore.
Okay. Well. Oh, got it. All right. So then let's do that then.
Here we go.
I wonder why it would call both of them. It won't let me. It finds them in there. Maybe it's this one? Yeah, I'll try this one. Why not? It's probably a random ass person we're going to hit with a problem solve.
That's even better, by the way.
I know.
Aussie Klutz is suggesting later on down the road, after their fuck buddy relationship is going great, that the man will tell somebody, "Mitts off my lady, pal. I'll sock you in the kisser."
Yeah, man. This is. I've tried both variations, and
Slow Joe, what an asshole!
I was about to. I was questioning. I was in the middle of wondering whether or not I should out them, and then you just shouted Slow Joe's name. Sorry, Slow Joe.
Slow Joe, you asked for it.
Yeah. Here, we're gonna
Slow
give
Joe's
you.
in the chat and has a better way for us to contact him.
Yeah. Well, here, let's just give it to him right now over the air. Here you go. Take it, Justin.
Problem Solverz.
So you're trying to get a sausage up your grandma's poos by way of your boss.
Hey, man, I say this is a win-win-win, so let him put it in.
Hashtag Instagram.
Problem solved.
That's a good one.
I love if they would use hashtag Instagram. They don't know how to use it. They're 80.
Although,
Do I hash the tag?
although I was hoping he would say sausage in the poos from your golden goose.
Back in my day, we used to mail our nudie pics to the magazines.
I love the fact that it blew up on the launch pad, but you insisted on saying something at the end.
Well, in my head, it was nudie pics. Or no, it was we send our dirty pics to the nudie mags. And then
It's fine. All right, man. What are we doing next, Justin?
all right. How about this one? I have a small, horny dog. Not only is he horny all the time, but he is a cross-dresser as well. He doesn't identify as a female dog. He just likes wearing stockings, heels, and silky underthings, and still tries to bang the lady dogs in the neighborhood. This wouldn't be a problem if we lived in a place like San Francisco, but we live in the severe deep south, so you can imagine the harassment we get on daily walks. People will yell out the rudest things like, "How dare you?" And since the dog can't speak English, I have to try to explain why my glued size 8 fuck me pumps to his feet and his non-color coordinated lingerie. I mean, give me a break. The little bastard is colorblind. I have no idea what this fucking means. I just saw small horny dog and started reading. And
All right.
His dog is a cross-dresser, and he thinks that he lives in the wrong part of the U.S. for that to be cool. What does he do?
Yeah. Here,
So maybe I should.
You want to give him
be
an
the one
answer?
to
Here,
explain
I'll
the problem.
restate it, and you can wrap things up here, Justin.
All right.
Here, let's give a quick phone call to our caller.
There she is.
Yeah, that old bitch. Come on.
Ready?
So your tramp thinks she's. Oh wait, shit, fuck.
Problem solved.
So your tramp thinks she's a lady, does she?
What you want to do is stop telling your dog that your dog can wear your high heels because you live in Mississippi or something.
Don't snitch on that bitch!
Problem solved.
That was terrible.
No, I think here's the good news. We
Actually,
like to.
I thought that I was the one restating, so I got a little confused.
Oh, sorry about that.
Sometimes this ship doesn't run as tightly as I expect
the good
at all
news
times.
is our response made exactly as much sense as his email did. So I feel like we
Sure.
met on the same ground.
Yeah, man, you're lucky we even answered you, Spike.
All right, Justin,
All right.
what's next?
Here we go. My wife and I recently moved to another state after I accepted a job offer. The job wasn't what I thought it would be, and the house we are living in is a dump. As a result of our relocation, she is currently unemployed, and we need income from her, or we might be in financial ruin. We have the opportunity to move back, and I might be able to get my old job back. She might be able to get her old job back with a previous employer as well. However, she is flat out refusing to move. What should I do?
Man, that's tough. When you drop everything and go somewhere else, it can be real tempting to go backwards. But I feel like, man, there ain't nothing behind you, right? I feel like you left all that. I understand your wife's position. I understand why you'd want to go back, but I understand.
Yeah, but he says that they live in a dump and she can't get a job.
I mean, they don't have to.
And-
I mean,
Like they
And
might
what
be
is she, a
on
hoarder?
financial
Just wants to
ruin,
hang out
bro.
inside?
okay, good. Luckily, I don't have to give an answer on this one. Who's gonna take the answer?
I don't think I've given an answer, so I will go ahead and give an answer to this one.
I just have to what is your answer? Can I know in advance? What's
That's the whole point of this, Brian.
Yeah, what if they're watching?
all right? Well, let's
What am I doing?
you're gonna restate the problem.
I'm going to restate the problem. Okay.
Yeah, but first you gotta listen to. Couldn't start. Oh, I think it wanted a video call for some reason. Let's do this.
Oh, by the way, somebody has also put in the doc, my dad was dead, now he's not, what do I do, with Night Attack Show as the phone number.
Yeah. Wait for it.
Hello?
Problem Solvers.
So you just moved to another state with your wife. You've got a job, but she doesn't. You live in a dump. You want to move back, and she's just sitting on her ass.
If she won't move back, put her on the track. Pimp out your wife to make the rent.
That's called prostitution.
Problem solved.
Click.
Oh my god.
We are good. We've really redeemed ourselves in the last 5 minutes. That was just some straight up good advice. He needed to hear it.
Sometimes
Or
it's better to come from strangers, Sarah. See, like, your friends tell you to pimp out your wife, and you're like, that's
They're not
weird.
going to tell you the truth.
Yeah.
What was amazing was I remember feeling so betrayed when Justin started rhyming shit, and I was like, no, I don't know what to do now.
There could be more than one rhyme.
I know, but I didn't have anything. I was trying to assess I was so focused on what your solution was that by the time I figured it out, I realized that you'd already rhymed things.
But number one, that's prostitution is like the 1950s slogan that was never born.
Yes.
Where are the white women at?
All right, which
Might-
one are we doing?
Might I suggest the nursing homes?
There's a certain 84-year-old alcoholic looking for some action. All right, what are we doing next?
The other day, my Uber driver that was twice my age asked me on a date. I figured it would make a good story because if nothing else, his name was Boney.
His name was Boney?
He never called. Out of boredom, to make up for it, I went to invisibleboyfriend.com for the 10 text free trial. My fake boyfriend took 3 days to text me back and quit texting me after 6 seconds. Even the people hired to pretend they love me unconditionally can't do it. How do I make sure I don't end up forever alone?
Oh, man. We've got a phone number, and we have permission to say this person's name. I don't know if we should, though. I mean, I guess it's up to
Listen,
her.
Brian, let's focus on the advice.
Okay. The advice is...
I can do the rejoiner. Haven't done that in a while.
Brian, I think you got to do the advice then. I restate.
All right. Yep. All right. Got it. Doggone it. This is gonna be a bit of a shocker when we find out who it is.
Whoever it is, use a British accent.
Hello?
Problem Solvers.
So you can find literally no companionship, be it synthetic or otherwise.
Yeah, man, listen, the problem is that you're seeking without. Meanwhile, everybody here in your family knows you for what you are. Have sex with your family. Commit incest.
And if all else fails, definitely bone an Uber driver named Boney because that is Inception.
Problem solved.
That's prostitution.
That's called prostitution. That could always be the rejoiner, really.
Yeah, you know what? I think I hit on the universal joint that'll go attached to any pipe. All right, what are we doing next?
Oh, here we go. This one's a barn burner. So I'm an identical twin. which is, by the way, the best way to start and a call for advice. And I share my room with my sister. I feel weird watching porn with her in the room.
Okay, hold on. I'm an identical twin. She can't be her twin then. Oh wait, unless she's a
they're
girl.
twins and they're sisters and they share
They're
a
both
room.
girls. Got it. Oh,
I feel weird watching porn with her in the room. She doesn't seem to care, but should I wait until she's asleep, or does that make me a creeper?
Wow. Oh, and what she said was, does that make it creepier? So this is a relative thing. Okay.
She's like, it's still, she at least understands that there's a creepiness factor already.
Yes.
Is it creepier if sis is awake?
All right. I have a fairly strong opinion on this.
Oh, really? All right.
But I could do the witty. I don't think I've done the witty rejoinder in a while, so
I can
think
explain that
Oh,
problem.
wait. Well, no, I have to explain it because I just gave advice.
Oh, you did?
Yeah. The advice was for her to
to
commit
fuck
incest.
your family, which
Yeah.
oddly enough could have been used on this.
That's
one.
not the same advice I think that I'll give. So maybe I should give the advice.
Yes. Okay. So you give the advice on this one. Wow. I'm so curious about this. By the way, this is Fapless and Fairmount is the we have permission to call them by this name, and we'll give them a call. Man, what a weird ass situation. How old are they?
Good question.
It doesn't matter. Advice is the same. I'm restating, right?
Yeah.
Oh?
Problem Solver.
Hey man, I get it. You just want a little sploosh, but your sister's being a bit of a douche.
You know, you're an identical twin, so a lot of this sort of sounds like she's just you out of body in the bed next to you. So what are you really doing wrong?
Double click your mouse with your sis in the house.
Problem solved.
That was tight.
Good
We're
advice,
back.
guys.
That was good advice all around.
We could open up some sort of an advice agency if we
damn.
keep this up.
It keeps
You know?
like
Patreon.
This is an app that's going to win a Crunchy next year.
It's gonna win a crunch.
I'm surprised we don't have like a website where you could dial through and just get one of these advice at any point. Like you just click random and then it comes up and it's like the magic 8-ball. Like we should have the magic 8-ball of y'all's.
Gatawag told me about a show he's been listening to that he's really into, and I forget who it was that was putting it on, but it was called Go Ahead Caller, and it's imagine a call-in radio show, but they just don't bother with any of the host shit. It's just a number. People call, they leave their voicemail messages, and then they play them all in a row. They skip that whole dance of like, go ahead, caller, you're on the air. And instead it's just the calls. And he talked about how harrowing it was to call in on it.
Oh goodness.
Yeah, so there's that.
I think we got one strong finisher here.
Oh, yeah? Ooh. Which one are we doing?
21.
21. Gosh, we have so many girls watching.
Yeah, this is a ladies' night here. So I have a friend who recently broke up with her boyfriend. All three of us used to talk when they were together every now and again, but when she was around. Then they broke up, and I hadn't spoken to him since. The other day on Facebook, I commented on one of her posts about a guy she thought was cute. 2 seconds later, the ex-boyfriend sends me a friend request. What should I do?
Dude, I got this, man. You want advice? I got advice. Or wait.
Man, I feel like this is a shots fired at like Cosmo.
Dude,
like, creeping up on your shit, Cosmo. We're answering these questions now.
I guess I'm in rejoinder land, so I can't give advice.
Well, that's up to you, Justin.
Sarah, I feel like you might be the better one to give advice on this if you would like. Otherwise, I can take up the mantle.
Okay, sounds good.
Right. So I'll restate.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Here we go. We are contacting. This is line 21, just to be clear, right?
Line 21.
Yeah.
Although that would be a better version of this, where we called people who were not the people who asked the advice.
just shouted it at them. That's a pretty good idea. I do feel like we owe it to them to at least show up on their doorstep and start howling.
Whatever, prude.
Whatever that means.
Let's see. I think I'm calling the right number. Don't know if I am. We'll find out. Whoa, couldn't start because of an error. What's up with your errors, bro? This is a third.
Why are you putting on airs?
On errors. Yeah, look at this. It won't let me do it. I don't want to have to end shout. Can we just shout her advice at someone else?
Oh, there's a Skype handle.
Oh, shoot. All right, here we go. That means you'll have to give us our fake doodle-doo. And I've got to find a Skype window. Man, I wish you guys could see just how many freaking windows are open right now. All right, and I am calling this person.
The person whom you're trying to reach is currently unavailable. Please leave a message.
Says currently unavailable. Currently unavailable. When I call.
Oh, man, really?
The
Yeah.
person whom you're trying to reach is currently unavailable.
Yeah, no. I ain't
These
cool.
people need to be blocked.
Yeah,
Like
you're banished
they're not
from the
allowed
land.
to play ever again if they can't show up.
You know what? Here,
you're
we're
wasting our time.
We're gonna give this person.
Wait, people are saying that they're available. Oh, no, wait. That's not the person.
Yeah. I say we call this random other person and give the advice to them. It's still gold. Here we go. Wait, what am I doing?
You
I'm
are
advice.
Witty Rejoinder.
Okay. But
Speak. Problem Solverz.
So you don't know this chick, but Lisa's friend's ex-boyfriend is a thirsty motherfucker looking for a taste.
Here's the problem, though. He wants to friend you because he wants to stalk his ex-girlfriend. Don't fall for it. He's just looking for revenge sex.
yeah, smoke a bowl. Fuck that asshole.
Problem solved.
That's prostitution.
It works.
Every time.
Every
Sarah Lane.
time.
Sarah Lane, thank you so much for joining us. You're the highlight of our entire month. Thanks for slumming with us again, and we look forward to you in the
Anytime.
future.
You're the highlight of my month as well. I had a great time as usual. And it's nice to see you all.
Congratulations on the
So
new gig.
at Sarah Lane, you're doing iPad today as well for everybody who is
Correct.
a fan of that show, and then just wait on the TechCrunch stuff. But
Yeah, you know, TechCrunch is, okay, we're churning out stuff all the time, but, you know, this time next month when I join you guys again, I'll probably have some really cool stuff to talk about. Let's just put it that way.
awesome.
That's good enough for us. All right, thank you again, Sarah Lane. Take care and be safe, and don't drive that car. That's haunted.
Thanks, guys.
Ghost
Peace.
lives there. Bye. Dude, do you realize that was the only track that I can't believe we didn't think to put on Night Attack 3 was the whole, like, in my mind, it's collapsed those two songs created at Dragon Con, the Ghost Lives There, and also the What's on Your D. Like that whole story told all as one thing is really great, and I just want to do that. sometime.
We told all that?
No, we never did. We haven't.
Right? No, that was on the docket of things that we might talk about.
Yep, and we never did. We never told that story.
I can't believe
so we're
you
gonna have to put it.
didn't.
Yeah, I
I
know.
thought that was
I
a
know.
new
That
one.
is another one of my disease of like, whatever, man. That was 2 years ago. But it's like 2 years ago with like 4 people.
It's like,
So,
if you want to make it awesome, we have to tell a story from 8 years ago. That's where the cool stories are.
Yeah, all the cool stories emanate from when you were 13, obviously.
Man, Identity 4 says, man, Night Attack is knocking it out of the ballpark lately. We're happy to hear that. Patreon.com/Night Attack. Hey, speaking of all our friends,
Yeah.
you want to talk about some other friends?
Yeah. How about this one? His name is Squarespace.
It's like a freaking a Grindhouse trailer.
Yeah.
You know.
All right, Brian, we're just going to go back and forth with lines
Sure.
in the Grindhouse voice.
Hold on, I got to get some Grindhouse background here. Let me see what I can find. Grindhouse music soundtrack. There we go. I wrote soundtrack, but I trust. Here we go. Let's use some copyrighted music. And first sit through this ad. Why not? Here we go. His name was Squarespace.
What? Pout. That is pout.
Oh, wait, hold it. Skype ducking prevented Squarespace from talking, and he wasn't having that. So he learned to turn down the music whenever he spoke. Take it away, Squarespace.
Hey.
He doesn't. He's not a man of many words, but it doesn't matter when he's killing people. Squarespace.
I never go down, but
He
next to me does.
he doesn't go down. No matter at what the pressure he feels, not even a hurricane can cause him to go down. Squarespace.
Yeah, Mr. President, I'm sorry.
He apologizes to the president very politely. Squarespace.
I don't care if there's a storm.
Squarespace has survived the most incredible storms due to its incredible power of distributed network hosting. Not even a storm of Digs, Reddits, or any other popular social network will be enough to take down your site thanks to Squarespace.
Affordability's key.
Fast, easy, reliable, and affordable. The Squarespace Creed. But don't believe Squarespace's word for it. Sign up now for a 2-week trial, and you can experience Squarespace.
Use offer code NAP.
NAP probably sounds like it belongs with Night Attack Podcast. But what does Squarespace think it stands for?
I took a nap today.
He sleeps during the day. He kills at nights. The distributed awesome power of fast, easy, reliable ways to make a portfolio, blog, or any other type of website is the legacy of Squarespace.
I'm a master of CSS, the cockshot supreme.
Cockshot Supreme, the Squarespace way. Learn the gun kata, gym kata, and now CSS kata, courtesy of Squarespace.
Now that's prostitution.
Oh my gosh.
Hey man, that shit was smooth like butter. The kata.
I'm sorry, Brian. I gotta fucking air this fucking studio out because all we're doing is shitting gold on the floor.
That's amazing, dude. Oh shit, son.
All right, so let's move on. Hey, by the way, a lot of y'all might be saying, oh, wait, a lesser show would just wrap everything around this startling admission of the fact that my dad's still alive after nearly 2 decades of being dead.
Boring.
A lot of motherfuckers would say, ooh, I would wrap a whole episode around Sarah Lane coming on and being one of the best guests we've ever had.
Hey, look at me, I come diarrhea.
Oh my god.
But a lot of motherfuckers don't understand that not only do we give you 1, we give you 2, but we lay the groundwork for what will truly be the biggest success we have ever had on this show, The Journey by Chet Page.
I eat humans.
What?
So that's your exclamation of joy.
It was the only thing that could top I come diarrhea.
There's nothing. Ryan, you are fucking...
So
Man, I want to put you in a Cardinals uniform and just put Andrew Staten in your locker because you're Mark McGuire tonight. You're knocking them all out. This is great.
You know, Josie has the flu, so this is a little too real for me right now.
Robert _ says, damn it, Brian, some people are eating dinner with their kids while watching this.
I'm going to file that shit under Y for your motherfucking problem.
Okay, so I gotta
Also,
get...
if you're watching this during dinner with your kids, you're a worse parent than Charles Young.
Okay, I'm trying to find links to The Journey. I don't see it in here. We gotta lock this thing down, and we got a bit of a puzzle here.
Brian, you look for it. Let me go ahead and run down what we need to do.
Sure.
Day is the final day where you can submit stories. If you have not already submitted a story, you can do so by following a link somewhere in the chat room. It is there on the subreddit, I do believe. That is diamondclub.reddit.com. The Journey, if you were just catching up with us, maybe you just followed in on this Ghost Dad shit, here's what we're doing. You might remember that we did a book called The Diamond Club. It was completely crowdsourced, and it was meant to do our little experiment that what if a romance novel had 0 plot, 0 cohesion, 0 story, and had nothing but sex. It was a gigantic success for us. We were covered by NPR. We were written up all over the world. Now, our plan is to see if we can write the most obnoxious self-help book ever written. It will be a self-help book with literally no actionable help tips.
No good advice is
No
in
good
there.
advice.
This is going to look and appear to all to be a obnoxious, smug, self-confident travelogue from somebody who comes back from his privilege journey across wherever, who the hell knows, and just regale us with his tales and how much more enlightened he is. What's the website? Chetpage.com. Oh God, I cannot get enough of this
really
site.
cracks me up.
Yeah, so
we had Chet Page on because really the world of Chet Page exists inside Tom Merritt's mind.
oh my
right?
God, no, it's one of his actual personalities. He keeps it under wraps for the most part, but every so often the real Chet Page comes out. So here's the thing: we're looking at our self-help book. How many pages do you think we're up to, Justin? Single space.
We were up to 175 before.
All right, I may have overstated it. We are at 140 single-spaced pages
Oh my gosh.
of content.
That is
now, keep in mind, the first 23 pages are include a list of chapter ideas, including the Bible 2, fuck buttholes, get money.
What?
Red wine, Ebola, you're so fine. But the Bible 3, too old to talk. The
But I'm
Bible
sure
2
drives Brant crazy after the Bible live.
Right.
The Bible 2, the dinosaur riders of Mesopotamia and the women who love them.
The Bible too, Noah's bisexual bestiality cruise.
Channeling psychodynamic energy to increase your fertility. The snake dick method. 10 unexpected ways to impregnate with your mind. Stop jizzing water today. 7 weird ways to reverse a vasectomy. So here's where we're at now. We're now locked in. We gave everyone an opportunity to contribute material. We are now in the filtering phase where we got to figure out. Did I just see the word Dune? Yeah, okay. No, but then Penn then asked, have you ever read the book Dune by Frank Herbert? I said, no, but I saw the movie. It wasn't that great. Why? Penn said, the whole thing with you having to stick your arm up my ass was just a test, like in that scene in the movie Dune when Paul Atreides had to stick his hand in that box that caused him to feel pain. He was told by the Bene Gesserit witch that the Gom Jabbar needle that she held would poison him if he removed his hand from the box before being told he could. You get it? You lost me at Paul Atreides, he said. I said. Penn got frustrated and said, look, your dad was worried that you don't have what it takes to be a page and you needed to be tested. Shocked, I asked, what does my father have to do with all of this? Everything, said Penn. At that moment,
I'm assuming this is Penn Jillette.
yes, it is. At that moment, a shadowy figure in a black hooded cloak came out of the shadows. It said, Chet, this was all for your own good. I turned and said, Obi-Wan? No, Chet, it's me, your dad. As he pulled the hood away from his face, I hadn't seen my dad for a while, and seeing him here under these circumstances was very disturbing. But I maintained my cool and calmly asked, what the fuck, Dad? Why did you pull all this sick bullshit on me, you asshole? Calm down and I will tell you. It was to teach you a lesson and to see if you had what it takes to join the club. I protested by pointing out I obviously have what it takes because I go clubbing all the time. Then he said, no, Chet, I mean this club in here in the Grove. This club consists of the most powerful men in the world. Your test was to see how you would react to extreme pressure, and you passed. Later this evening, you will be presented with the club, or to the club, and they will recommend that you be made candidate for the President of the United States in 2020. Political party to be decided later. I could not believe my ears. I was to be made President of the United States? I then asked my dad jokingly, why not give me a fun job like CEO of Apple? But Dad didn't get the joke and said with a serious tone, sorry, son, but that job is just too important for our cause. You'll have to settle for President of the United States. And then blah, blah, blah. And he says, no, this Dad.
book has taken a weird turn.
Yeah.
Know this, Dad. I'm not going to go gentle in that good nightmare, and I'm not going to accept your offer of just 2 chairs. For the first time in many years, I saw pride for me in my father's face. His eyes were full of tears when he said, let it be written, let it be done.
Oh my gosh.
Later that evening by the pond under the stony gaze of the giant owl, A black hooded robe was draped around me, and my dad hugged me in front of everyone and said, "This is my beloved son, with whom I am very pleased." After that, he said, "It is my wish that my son take his rightful place as CEO of Apple, where he can guarantee our continued efforts through technology." There was some murmuring in the crowd, and then one person started a slow clap while chanting, "Chet, Chet, Chet." Then more voices joined in until everyone was chanting and clapping. The applause and clapping was thunderous, and I could finally feel that sort of enlightenment that only comes from forcing someone to do your bidding, regardless of what they really want. The evening was made complete when the decision to make me CEO of Apple was consecrated by the blood sacrifice of Carrot Top on the altar of the owl. So what did I learn from all this? My greatest lesson in all this was that kind words and hugs can bring you closer to your family. But nothing could have brought me closer to my father as much as the time I fisted a fiberglass cow through a magician's prosthetic ass and threatening my father's life. Epilogue. The guy that currently appears as Carrot Top in Vegas is a crazy superfan the club found to take his place. The plastic surgery to transform him into Carrot Top wasn't all that great, but it doesn't matter. Everyone thinks Carrot Top is just another victim of plastic surgery addiction. Penn Jillette was compensated for the loss of his driver and given a new one of his choosing. I think the driver's name was David Blaine or something. Note to self, get in touch with Bart Fisher at the Hallmark Channel to pitch this chapter for a holiday special presentation. Sounds like gold to me.
Listen, at some point, you have to just let God take the wheel.
Tell us some bees.
Yeah, hold on, wait a minute.
Yeah.
No, all right. No, we got to, we have to just, this is great. This is amazing. And if all of a sudden this book goes from like just randomly like advice to like a bizarre David Lynch Illuminati situation and then back, like I'm delighted by that. That is hilarious.
So here's the thing. Our secret agenda before was to get to see if we could pass for a decent book, and I think we did, at least with a few people. Our secret agenda this time is we want to do a charity. We want to take money and do some good with it. We want to give to a charity. This is a thinly veiled way. 100% of all the profits go to charity. This is a way for all of us to throw some money towards a charity, and along the way get a chuckle as we hit #1 in the self-help section of Amazon. Ain't nothing wrong with that.
I don't know. I'm sitting there thinking, I might have thought Alcoholics Anonymous until I figured out that all these douchebags are going back to everybody they screwed over in their past and upsetting lives again, going, "I'm sorry."
Oh, you're talking about making amends?
Yeah. Well,
no. We had talked about Heifer International, and
okay.
And in fact, I think we could let maybe our friend Patrick Rothfuss know about our little silly experiment.
Is that you and Justin talked about that too?
Yeah.
Okay. Because
Yeah.
I didn't think Ashley would be on board.
Well, okay, I asked about this. Ashley denies ever having to. All right, let's get the ladies on here, because I found myself saying the phrase Bonnie said that Ashley said, and then the moment I said that, I just stopped. I was like, God damn it! I just said the words Bonnie said that Ashley said.
Yeah, hold on, wait a minute. Let me just give you. Wait. Crap. I don't know why this is saying
You get Ashley giving you the what? She says she has no memory of this conversation and that Heifer sounds cool to her.
Oh, well, that's great. Okay. I just heard that it was
Is that a quote from Squarespace, the Grindhouse movie?
All right.
Right on. So, okay, good. So let's do Heifer International. We'll see if we can rope in.
And just, we can get a real quick one-sentence summary of the good that Heifer International does. They provide animals to villages, right?
Yeah, international. Here's the thing: they're a secular organization. A lot of times there are a lot of organizations that do very good, but they make you say, but you got to say you love Jesus or whatever, and who knows how effective that is. One thing we know for sure is that if a village is in need, it's not a case like have some powdered milk. Part of milk is gone. I don't know. Find something else. Heifer International makes sure, like, how about a goat? Something that you can milk regularly and make more goats with, and become. They're focused on becoming self-sufficient through all their donations. I know that Patrick Rothfuss has been a tremendous fan of their work.
And also, let me just make clear here that despite the fact that she does not remember having that conversation, Ashley in no way endorses this.
Okay.
For the record.
Right.
I do what I want.
Yeah, that's right.
You do what you want.
Yeah, man. So anyway, we really
Wait,
like.
Is that a unicorn?
We like. It feels like a unicorn. It makes a lot of good things happen. Anyway, Heifer International is a good way to feed families.
Well, they do actual good, and it brings agriculture in the circle of feeding to so many people that would not otherwise have it. So
yeah. And plus, also, there's a bit of a symmetry in poetry. The idea that we have this privileged white douchebag traveling through the kind of countries that will be serviced and helped by a Heifer International, and that buying this horseshit travelogue filled with the misadventures of an entitled youth would in somehow provide actual good. I know that last year,
if I remember correctly, this is a charity that, in the independent organizations that verify how much good goes, they have a good score with whatever that the third party is, if I remember everything correctly, with Rothfuss's stream.
Yeah, no, that sounds correct to me as well. Man, and people are saying we got to get in touch with Sigler. We can get in touch with that whole author cabal, and we could say this is like legitimately the worst self-help book ever. Because think about it, all these guys who are writing gorgeous, beautiful genre fiction of all varieties, they can't be thrilled with the kind of horseshit, seeing The Secret make $1 bazillion. What if we made? What if we made an even shittier version of The Secret than The Secret, and then out-secreted The Secret? And then use that money to do good. This is,
and not to say that Timothy Ferris is a fraud or anything, but this is like in that vein of like, I'm a dude who has a story. Here's how you can be more like me, kind of nonfiction.
Yeah, I'm looking at Charity Navigator right now, looking at the score for Heifer International. 3 out of 4 stars. Ending care. I assume this is it. Project Heifer International. Let's see what the whole thing is. Look at this. They got this whole like financial score, accountability, and transparency score. So they have different zones that it's in. It's in the next to highest possible zone, which is good enough for me. So it basically they critique like how much of the money gets used for the expenses of running the charity versus actually being distributed.
It's something that goes internationally,
I would imagine there's got to be a lot of spillage on the way of getting a goat from one place to another. But that's but certainly, and if you look at the trend, primary revenue versus program expenses, I don't know what any of these mean. They look very fancy. There's bars and graphs, and all I'm seeing.
I'm gonna go ahead and give that one a big fat seems legit.
I mean, there are 4 stars on accountability and transparency. So if you don't like something, we can say something about it. But that's good enough for me. If 3 out of every $4 goes to an actual goat in an actual person's hand, then that's better. That's a hell of a lot better than most of the guys out there. So there's that. All right. So I guess at this point, now we need to start figuring out how we're going to filter and edit. Does somebody want to step up and build the book? We have all the pieces there. I guess hit us up on Twitter if you're somebody who wants to take a look at this monster of a doc, kind of look through and figure out, because last time it was poor John, and I forget who else it was in chat room. John had to read all those. He had to edit out some of the smuttier smut.
Oh my gosh! But the beekeeper stayed, right?
So if somebody wants to step up and actually edit, and somebody wants to actually make it have like a format and pick fonts and arrange chapters and stuff, we would love for you to do it. Just go ahead and tweet us or show up.
And also, I mean, we can probably keep it all on the Reddit, right? Like that's where a lot of people gather. That's a good place where people can be able to chip in on whether or not they want to work
hold
on
on.
it.
When you say Reddit, I'm confused. Are you talking about diamondclub.reddit.com?
Indeed, I am, Brian.
What's this stickied at the top? Weekly Diamond Time submissions. This seems like Diamond Time's a special time we do every episode.
Absolutely, Brian. See, this is where everybody can get their own project shouted out here at the end of the show. Because when we left the big, fat, hairy network that had, a big system in place to make sure that certain times were carved out where sponsors needed to say things and they paid good money for it.
Corporate interests. Unlike now. Like, can you believe it? We used to have to claim to like Squarespace back in the day.
Absolutely. And now we love them.
Now we do. We fucking love the shit out of them. They're rad. Hey, let's take a moment to shout out our friends over at Squarespace. I mean, Diamond Club. Diamond Club hopes you've enjoyed this presentation.
Absolutely, man. All right, so here we go. Jalen Jade, Exploring the Warm Castle, a choose-your-own erotica. I'll be simple here. I didn't write it, but I helped a friend get it published. And by helped, I mean I paid for all the costs because I had a steady job at the time and could afford it. Now I don't. I work part-time with no guarantee of any hours per week while I look for something more permanent and try to recoup some of the cost. I don't expect any of the Diamond Club members to buy it, but maybe just pass along the info or somebody who might be interested. And he has a little link.
Dude, this sounds like an echo of the Diamond Club, man, except for it's probably really good and hot.
Absolutely. Exploring the Warm Castle. You can find it on
Can we read
Amazon.
Can we it's 46 pages long. Can we read through it live on the show? Can we go through an
feel
adventure?
like this let's tab it for another episode.
Throw this on the list of broken promises we planned to have.
Exactly.
All right, right on.
But there we go. Also, I feel like it's like I think it'll be awesome. I think we should just take a look at it real quick.
Dude.
All right. So there we go. Amazon. Just go ahead and Exploring the Warm Castle.
Chet Page, noted author, chimes in. Yo, guys, no link, no project. Just wanted to say hi to y'all. Remember, keep going for it till you hit the greatness, but you'll never get to my level. Che Pay is what he wrote. Che Pay. Dude, Chet Page. He's the real
whose
shit.
flair reads noted author for the record.
Man, I'm telling you what, I think all the authors are gonna want to be in on talking up Che Pay. I think Che Pay is gonna be a popular guy among all of our author friends.
Oh hell yeah! I'm actually gonna be in San Diego at the end of the week, so maybe I'll try to talk to Sigler then.
Oh hells yeah! Let's see what else.
Well, there we go, everybody. DiamondClub.reddit.com. Let's go ahead and get, if we can sticky a
team organization, team editing.
Right,
We're now in the editing phase. We have obviously pure solid gold in this shit. It's just got to look at a cursory glance like a real ass book with real ass advice. And by the way, hang out in the Diamond Club thing because I love the fact that you guys notice little things like in hacking the system. I made sure to call it Diamond Club Valet, and I was so thrilled that made it into the final episode. I walked out, I'm like, Diamond Club Valet, and grabbed the car and then drove off. It was awesome.
Dude, so good. We also have the movie draft minute.
Oh wait, do we? I guess so. It's the final proclamation of it. All right, let me type in DRAFT, and then we're going to get surprised by the finale. Go for it. Let's hear. I don't care who you use it as. Go. There. Oh shit. It's still playing the journey. All right, here we go. Let's try this again. And boom.
Welcome to your final movie draft minute for the winter 2014-2015 season, presented by CosmicRadio.tv. I'm your host, Roberto Villegas. And that concludes our coverage of the winter 2014-2015 season. Though we still got 3 weeks until this whole thing is official, let's go check the scoreboard one last time. John Teasdale's in 6th place with $245.1 million.
I'm not last!
Justin Robert Young's in 5th place with Mordecai bringing in $4.2 million, bringing his total to $270.2 million. Tom Merritt's in 4th place with $371.7 million. Scott Johnson's in 3rd place with $442.9 million. Brian Brushwood's in 2nd place with $445.1 million. And in 1st place with a whopping $596.3 million. It's Brett Roundsville. And that concludes our coverage of the winter 2014-2015 season. Till next time, see you, Space Cowboy.
Wow, man. What an amazing ride we had this time. Congratulations. Well earned to Brett the Amtrak Roundsville. Just trounced everyone. That's awesome.
Dude, he American sniped everybody.
he blew us up like the head.
He's a back-to-back winner.
Wait, did he win the summer draft too?
And John were the tag team that won the summer draft.
Damn it. Now they're just going to roll in with their smug-ass smugness.
That means the one thing we need to do.
We need to
not invite Brett to the next movie draft.
Well, I was just gonna say, it's like we need to make sure Cargill's in next time, so we have somebody to cover last place for us confidently the entire time. You guys, no, this movie's gonna make all the money.
He knows personally.
Yeah, I saw it at Garbage Fest 9000, and I sat there with Oscar the Grouch. We watched it. You guys, it's unbelievable. It's literally better than Jesus Christ.
Oscar's a friend.
Oscar, my good personal friend, Oscar the Grouch. You know, people misunderstand Oscar. That's one of the things.
Yeah, no, listen, Cargill has seen more movies than all of us, and yet it doesn't seem to help him. Also, Garbage Fest 9000, get your tickets now.
All right. God damn, it's already over. We're up to an hour and a half. This is a long-ass episode, but fuck, we're good. We're the best in the world.
We are. Do I have your attention now, world?
Yeah, because if you do, I guess you're going to make an announcement?
Just saying, I think we've made enough announcements.
Oh, okay. All right. How about this? I'll see you next Tuesday.
Eye in a fire!
Is there something that I did? Is there something I can do? Oh no, night attack is done. My heart has been broken. The depression's just begun. Brian Brushwood, every time you leave, I wanna hurt myself by pissing off some bees. I'm allergic to bees. Oh, Justin Robert Young, every time you go, I get so sad that I wanna drink a warm glass of Drano. Night attack, night attack, night attack. Night attack, night attack, night attack, night attack. I love you.
Except Justin's dad.